Hello and welcome back to Mr. English Lab. My name is Emma, and I'm here to guide you on your journey to clear, confident, and natural English. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Your support truly helps this channel grow. Alright, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin today's session. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Imagine you are walking through a quiet street early in the morning, and the world is still waking up. The sky is soft and pale, and the air feels cool on your face. The city is not loud yet. There are no car horns, no busy people, no rush. You are walking slowly, breathing softly, feeling calm. But then, suddenly, you remember something. A problem. A worry. Something waiting for you. And the peaceful morning begins to feel heavy again. That moment, that shift from calm to stress, is something almost all of us understand. And today, in this journey together, here on Mr. English Lab, we will explore why that happens and, more importantly, how we can gently release that stress using simple, natural English. My name is, well, you already know. And I am here to speak to you slowly, clearly, and softly, like a friend walking beside you. Today, we are going to take a long, calm walk through ideas, stories, and moments that will help you not only practice English, but also breathe a little easier. I want you to listen like you are listening to a story around a warm fire, relaxed, curious, and open. So take a deep breath. Yes, right now. Slow, gentle, calm. And let's begin. Stress. It's a small word, only 6 letters, but somehow it can fill an entire day. You know this feeling. The pressure in your chest. The tightness in your shoulders. The fast thoughts that keep spinning and spinning like a wheel with no end. Sometimes stress feels like you are carrying a heavy backpack that no one else can see. People around you walk normally, talk normally, and look normal. But you are walking with extra weight on your back. And maybe you don't even know when the bag became so heavy. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why am I stressed even when nothing big is happening? It's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes stress doesn't come from one big problem. Sometimes it comes from tiny things, small responsibilities, little worries, short conversations that made you think too much. Stress builds slowly, quietly, silently, like rain gathering on a window. Our goal today, in this long English listening journey, is to understand that stress and gently explore simple ways to reduce it. And while we do that, you will practice your English in a natural, calm, and comforting way. This is not a lesson with rules. This is not a class with pressure. This is a story, and you're inside it. We are going to move smoothly through ideas like water moving through a river, slow and soft. Now, let me start with a simple story. Something small. Something quiet. A few years ago, I met a man named Jonas. He was not famous. He was not rich. He was not doing anything extraordinary. But he told me something that stayed in my mind for years. He said, stress is not loud. Stress whispers. At first, I didn't understand what he meant. But he explained. He said that most people think stress arrives like a loud noise, like a crash, a shout, or a sudden explosion. But real stress, everyday stress, is very quiet. It comes slowly. It comes gently. It comes softly. And because it is quiet, we don't notice it until it is already inside us. Jonas told me he used to work long hours. He woke up early and went home late. But he kept telling himself, everything is fine. I am okay. He repeated these words every day. And maybe he believed them. Until one day, he woke up and could not get out of bed. Not because he was sick. Not because he was injured. But because his mind and heart were tired. Very, very tired. And that day, he learned something important. Stress doesn't just push you. Sometimes it pulls you down quietly. When he shared this with me, I thought of my own life. Times when I felt exhausted, even when nothing big was happening. Times when I told myself I'm fine, but my heart whispered, "Are you sure?" And maybe you have felt something like that too. You see, this is why we need to talk about stress. Not in a complicated way, not in a scientific way, but in a human way, a simple way. Today, we will walk together through gentle ideas and explore easy habits that help us feel lighter. And while we do this, you will practice listening, speaking, and understanding English in the most natural way possible. So, let me ask you a question. A simple question. You don't need to answer out loud. Just think. Right now, what is one small thing that is making you stressed? Not something huge. Not something dramatic. Just something small, something soft, something that sits quietly in your mind. Maybe it's your work. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's your own thoughts. Or maybe it's learning English. Yes, some people feel stress when learning a language. They worry about mistakes. They worry about sounding strange. They worry about not understanding everything. But let me tell you something, in the clearest English possible. You are doing great. You are here. You are listening. You are learning. And this moment right now is proof that you are moving forward. But I know something else too. Even when you are doing well, stress can still appear. It can show up in your shoulders, your neck, your breathing, your thoughts. And that's okay. It's normal. Human beings are emotional creatures. We feel things deeply. We remember things strongly. We worry about things quietly. So today, let's take this stress and look at it like a friend. Yes, like a friend. Not an enemy. Not a monster. But a friend who is trying to tell you something. Stress is a signal. A small message. A whisper. It says, "Hey, something needs your attention." When you change how you look at stress, something magical happens. It becomes softer. It becomes clearer. It becomes less scary. Now, before we continue, I want you to breathe again. Slowly. Gently. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face relax. Let your hands rest. Because you deserve a calm moment. As we go deeper into this journey, I want you to notice a few things. Notice how the words sound. Notice how the sentences flow. Notice how the story moves. This is how natural English feels when spoken gently. And by listening like this, your English will grow without stress. Let me bring you back to Jonas for a moment. After he finally understood how stress whispered to him, he made one small change in his life. Just one. He started taking 5 minutes every morning, before anything else, to sit quietly. No phone. No news. No responsibility. Just silence. At first, he felt strange. He felt like he was wasting time. But slowly, he noticed something. Those 5 minutes helped him breathe. Helped him think. Helped him prepare. And soon, those 5 minutes became the strongest part of his day. 5 minutes. That's all. But 5 minutes can open a door that leads to peace. Maybe you can try that too. Later in this long journey, we will explore more techniques like this. Simple ones, gentle ones, natural ones. But for now, I want you to feel something, hope. The hope that stress is not the end. It is just a signal, a whisper. And you have the power to listen to it calmly. You are not alone on this path. I am right here with you, speaking slowly, guiding softly, and helping you grow your English in a way that feels like breathing. And as we move from this first section into the next, I want you to hold this simple truth in your mind. You do not need to run fast to make progress. Sometimes, walking slowly with awareness is enough. When you understand this, your English becomes easier. Your mind becomes calmer. And your heart becomes lighter. This is just the beginning. We have many minutes ahead. Many stories. Many gentle lessons. And many small transformations. Take a moment with me again. You don't need to move. You don't need to do anything special. Just notice your breath. Notice how it comes in and how it goes out. Slow, gentle, natural. Sometimes we forget to breathe properly when life feels heavy. We take fast breaths, short breaths, tight breaths. But when we breathe slowly, the world around us becomes softer. And that is where our journey continues today. Imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a calm lake. The water is flat and still, like a giant mirror on the ground. The sky above is soft blue, and there is a quiet breeze touching your skin. You look across the water, and everything feels peaceful. But inside you, there is a small storm. Your thoughts are jumping. Your heart is thinking too fast. Your shoulders are tight. And even though the world looks calm, you can feel your stress deep inside. Now, imagine something else. Slowly, you kneel down next to the water and place your hand gently on the surface. The water feels cool, smooth, real. When you touch it, the lake makes soft ripples, and the image of the sky begins to dance on the surface. Those ripples remind you of something. They remind you that the world around you reacts to everything you do, even your breathing. When you breathe fast, the world feels fast. When you breathe slow, the world feels slower. It's simple but powerful. Today, in this section, I want to guide you through a little journey of slow breathing and simple awareness. Not as a lesson, not as meditation, but as a natural conversation that helps reduce stress and improve your English at the same time. Because when your mind is calm, you learn better. You understand better. You remember better. And you feel better. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed how your body feels when you are stressed? Think about it for a moment. Maybe your stomach feels tight. Maybe your breathing becomes quick. Maybe your hands feel cold. Maybe your mind feels busy, like a room full of people talking at the same time. This is your body's way of saying, something is too much right now. And here is the gentle truth. Your body always tells the truth, even when your mind tries to ignore it. One day, I met a woman named Lena. She was always busy, always moving, always working. She had a smile on her face every time someone talked to her. But one day I asked her, "How are you really feeling?" And she paused. She looked down. She took a small breath. And she said, "I don't know." She didn't know how she truly felt because she never gave herself time to stop. Most of us are like Lena sometimes. We go from one thing to another without a break. We wake up, work, study, clean, help, plan, worry, and then go to bed, and sometimes we don't remember a single moment of calm. But even machines need rest. Even phones need to charge. And human hearts need slow breathing. So right now, in this quiet moment between you and me, let's do something simple. Nothing dramatic. Nothing strange. Just a gentle exercise that Lena learned, and that changed her life. Don't worry, it's very easy. I'm going to speak slowly, and you can follow along if you want. If not, you can simply listen. Ready? Breathe in, slowly. 1, 2, 3. Hold it softly, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel that? That softness? That small moment of control? That is the power of slow breathing. When you take long breaths, your brain receives a message. We are safe. We are calm. We are okay. Let's try it again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, as you breathe, I want you to imagine something gentle. Imagine a warm light in your chest. A soft, glowing light that slowly expands with every breath you take. When you breathe in, the light grows brighter. When you breathe out, the light becomes softer. This light is your calm, your peace, your inner space where nothing can disturb you. This simple visualization helped Lena so much. She told me that every time she felt stressed at work, she would stop for 10 seconds, breathe slowly, and imagine that warm light inside her. And somehow everything felt easier. You may ask, can something so simple really help reduce stress? Yes, absolutely. Because stress is not always about problems. Sometimes stress is about the speed of our thoughts. When you slow your breath, you slow your mind. When you slow your mind, your stress becomes lighter. Now let me tell you another small story. A story about a boy named Amir. Amir was young, maybe 13 or 14. He was nervous about school. He was nervous about tests. He was nervous about speaking in front of people. Every time he had to talk in class, his heart would beat so fast that he felt like he couldn't breathe. His teacher noticed this and taught him something simple: find your breath before you find your words. She told him that before he spoke, he should stop for 2 seconds, breathe in slowly, and then speak. At first, Amir thought this was silly. But one day he tried it. And something surprising happened. His voice became clearer. His body felt more relaxed. And his classmates listened to him more easily. Those 2 seconds of slow breathing changed the way he felt about speaking. And you know what? This trick can help you too, especially when learning English. Sometimes, speaking a foreign language feels stressful. You try to say words fast. You worry about mistakes. You worry about sounding different. But breathing slowly gives you time. Time to think. Time to speak. Time to understand yourself. And that is why this simple habit is not just about stress. It is also about confidence. So let's try something together again. Imagine you have to speak English in a real conversation. Before you speak, you take one calm breath in and one calm breath out. And then you say your words slowly, clearly, gently. You don't rush. You don't push. You don't panic. You speak like someone who has time. This creates a beautiful rhythm in English, a rhythm that is relaxed and natural. And with practice, it becomes real. As we continue walking through this long journey, remember this: stress loves speed. Calm loves slowness. When you slow down, stress loses power. But let's go even deeper now. I want you to picture something. Imagine you are holding a small cup in your hand. The cup is full of water, right to the top. If you walk quickly with the cup, the water spills. It shakes. It falls. But if you walk slowly, the water stays inside. Your mind is like that cup. When you move too fast, your thoughts spill. But when you slow down, even a little, everything stays inside more safely. This is why slow breathing works. It slows your steps. It slows your thoughts. It keeps your cup steady. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you spoke kindly to yourself? Not about your job. Not about your responsibilities. Not about your family. But about you. When was the last time you said, I need a break? Or, I deserve calm? Or, I am trying my best? Many people speak kindly to others, but forget to speak kindly to themselves. But kindness is also a form of slow breathing. It softens your heart. Sometimes we think we must always be strong, always be productive, always be busy. But real strength is knowing when to slow down. And so, before we finish this section, I want to guide you through one more gentle moment. Place your feet softly on the ground. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands rest. And take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. As you breathe out, imagine your stress leaving your body like warm air disappearing into the sky. This is not magic. This is not fantasy. This is your body doing something natural, something it was designed to do. And now, as we move from section 2 into section 3, I want you to carry one thought with you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply slow down and breathe. This small act can make your English better. It can make your mind calmer, and it can make your whole day softer. We are only at the beginning of this long, gentle journey. Let's continue walking together. Slowly, gently, calmly. Because the journey we are taking today isn't just about English. It's about understanding yourself a little more deeply. And in this section, I want to take you somewhere, not a real place, but a place inside you. A quiet place. A hidden place. A place where stress goes when it needs a home. Imagine this. Inside your mind, there is a small room. Most people never visit this room. Most people don't even know it exists. But it's there. And this room is where your feelings sit when you're busy. It's where your worries go when you don't have time to deal with them. It's where your stress waits when life moves too fast. Let me take your hand and guide you there. Picture a long hallway inside your mind. You walk slowly down this hallway and your footsteps make a soft sound. The walls are warm, calm, and simple. At the end of the hallway, there is a small wooden door. No lock. No key. Just a quiet door. This is the door to your hidden room, the place where stress whispers. Now imagine slowly opening this door. Inside, you see small things. A thought you forgot to think about. A decision you didn't make. A worry you pushed away. A conversation you replayed in your mind. A small fear you didn't want to face. All of them are sitting quietly inside this room. They're not angry. They're not dangerous. They are just waiting. Waiting for you to notice them. This is where stress begins, in this quiet room. And the problem is, most people never open the door. They walk past it every day. They pretend the room is empty. They think, if I don't look inside, nothing bad will happen. But stress grows in silence. When you never open the door, the room becomes full. And when it becomes full, it becomes heavy. But here's the beautiful part. Once you open the door, things get lighter. Because stress doesn't need you to solve everything. It just needs you to see it. To notice it. To say, I hear you. Let me tell you a small story. A story about a man named Paulo. Paulo was a quiet man who worked in a small shop. Every day, he helped customers with a smile. Every day he cleaned, organized, and listened to people's problems. He looked fine. He looked happy. But inside his hidden room, things were piling up. One day a friend asked him, "Are you okay?" And Paulo said the usual words, "Yes, I'm fine." But his friend didn't believe him. So the friend said, "Close your eyes for a moment and tell me what is inside your mind." That was the first time Paulo opened the door to his hidden room. And when he opened it, he saw so many things he had ignored for years. Not big things. Small things. Tiny emotions. Quiet worries. Soft fears. All sitting there. Paulo didn't cry. He didn't panic. He didn't fall apart. He just breathed. He looked at everything in that room and said, "I didn't know you were all here." And that simple moment, that moment of awareness, helped him feel lighter. You see, stress doesn't always need solutions. Sometimes stress just needs space. Space to breathe. Space to be seen. Space to exist without pressure. And you can give yourself that space. Right now, as you listen to my voice, imagine your own hidden room again. What's inside it? Maybe memories. Maybe responsibilities. Maybe expectations. Maybe fears. But whatever is there, you don't need to judge it. You don't need to fix it. Just look. Just notice. Just open the door for a moment. This is an important part of reducing stress awareness. Stress becomes stronger when it hides. Stress becomes softer when you look at it. Think of it like a shadow. When you stand in front of a bright light, your shadow looks big. But when you step closer to the light, the shadow becomes smaller. Awareness is that light. The closer you move to it, the smaller your stress becomes. Now let me tell you about someone else, a young woman named Sarah. She was always chasing perfection. Her work had to be perfect. Her house had to be perfect. Her relationships had to be perfect. Even her English had to be perfect. And because of this, Her hidden room was full of disappointment. One day she said, "I feel like stress controls me." And I asked her, "Do you ever sit alone for 5 minutes with no phone, no noise, no distraction?" And she laughed. "Of course not," she said. "I don't have time." And that was the key. She had time for everything except herself. So her stress had nowhere to go. I suggested something simple. Visit your hidden room every day for 2 minutes. That's it. Just 2 minutes. She didn't need to do anything. She didn't need to fix anything. She just needed to open the door and sit inside her own mind. At first it felt strange. Awkward. Quiet. Too quiet. But after a week, something changed. She said, "I feel like I can hear myself again." And that was the beginning of her peace. 2 minutes changed her stress. 2 minutes changed her relationship with herself. 2 minutes helped her breathe again. Maybe you can try that too. Now let me ask you a question, a soft, simple one. When was the last time you listened to yourself? Not to other people, not to responsibilities, not to rules, not to pressure, but to you. We spend so much of our life listening to the world that we forget to listen inward. And stress grows when we forget ourselves. Now, breathe gently, relax your shoulders, let your face soften, let your thoughts slow down. I want you to imagine something beautiful. Imagine cleaning your hidden room. Not fast, not perfectly, just softly. You pick up one small worry. You look at it. You say, "You're okay." Then you put it down. Then you pick up another. You look at it. You breathe. You let it be. Every gentle look is a moment of healing. Every soft breath is a moment of release. And little by little, the room becomes cleaner, lighter, warmer, calmer. This is stress reduction. This is emotional awareness. This is simple, human healing. And while we explore all of this, you are also practicing English naturally, listening to long, slow sentences that flow gently. This is how fluency grows, not with pressure, but with calm. Before we end this section, I want to give you a quiet truth. Your hidden room is not a place of weakness. It is a place of understanding. Everyone has one. Everyone carries things inside it, and everyone can learn to open the door with kindness. As we move to the next section, carry this warm thought with you. Stress becomes less scary when you stop running from it and begin listening to it. Let's begin this next part slowly, softly, calmly, because the topic we are about to explore is something that touches every one of us, no matter where we live, where we come from, or what language we speak. Today, in this section, we will talk about letting go, the gentle art of releasing what is too heavy for the heart to carry. And we will do it in simple, warm English, the way a friend speaks to you on a quiet evening. I want you to imagine you are holding a small stone in your hand. It's not big. It's not painful. It's just a stone. But imagine holding it for 5 minutes. Then 10 minutes, then 20, then an hour, then a whole day. The stone doesn't become lighter. Your hand just becomes more tired. This is what emotional stress feels like. The weight doesn't grow, but your heart becomes tired from holding it for too long. There is a beautiful truth in this. Some things in life don't need to be fought. They just need to be released. But learning to let go is not easy. And that's okay. Nobody teaches us how to let go. We learn slowly, through moments, through stories, through gentle realizations. And that's what we will explore here together. Let me take you into a story. A true one. A quiet one. There was a man named Elias. He carried stress the way some people carry keys or a phone, always with him. He worried about everything. He worried about work. He worried about time. He worried about the future. He even worried about things that hadn't happened yet. And when he slept, his worries slept with him. When he woke up, they woke up too. One evening, he was walking by a river. The sky was almost dark and the air felt cool. He stopped and looked at the water. He picked up a stone from the ground and held it in his hand. Suddenly, a simple idea came to him. He said softly, "Why am I holding this?" And he threw the stone into the water. It made a small splash. The ripples spread out into perfect circles, and Elias watched them slowly disappear. In that moment, he understood something. Sometimes the hardest part of letting go is simply realizing that you are holding something you don't need to hold. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Let me ask you something gently, kindly. What are you holding right now that you don't need to hold? Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the past. Maybe it's someone's opinion. Maybe it's a mistake you made years ago. Maybe it's something you cannot change. Whatever it is, imagine it like a small stone in your hand. Now here's the beautiful part. When you let go of something, you don't lose anything important. You only lose the weight that was stopping you from breathing freely. Let me tell you another story. This one is about a woman named Hannah. She was strong, smart, and kind, but she had a habit. She held on to every negative word she heard. If someone criticized her, she kept it inside. If someone ignored her, she remembered it. If someone judged her, she replayed it in her mind again and again. One day, she told me, "I don't know how to stop thinking about what people say." And I asked her, "Where do you keep those words?" She didn't understand the question. So I asked again, "If their words were objects, where would you store them?" And she thought for a moment and said, "In my heart." I nodded gently and said, "Then your heart must be very full." She looked down and whispered, "Yes, it is." So I taught her a simple image. I said, "Imagine your heart like a room with windows. Every time someone says something hurtful, imagine it as a small piece of paper that enters through the window. Now imagine you walking to the paper, lifting it gently, opening the window again, and letting the paper fly out. Not with anger, not with fear, just with softness." She tried this small visualization every day, and slowly, the heaviness inside her heart began to soften. She learned that letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is simply choosing peace over pain. Now let me bring you back to yourself. You, right now, listening to my voice. Maybe you also carry things in your heart that feel heavy. Maybe your hidden room from the last section still has things inside it. Maybe some old stress still sits quietly inside you. And that's okay. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to let go of everything today. You just need to begin. Letting go is not a sudden moment. Letting go is a slow melting dot, a gentle softening dot, a warm release. Let's try something together. Imagine you are holding a rope tightly in your hands. So tight that your fingers hurt. So tight that your knuckles turn white. Now imagine slowly loosening your fingers. One by one. Softly. Gently. Naturally. The rope begins to fall. And your hands begin to relax. This is what letting go feels like. Not dropping everything quickly, not forcing yourself, just slowly loosening your grip on things that hurt. Let me tell you something important. Stress grows when we hold on too tightly. Stress melts when we learn to let go lightly. And letting go becomes easier when we understand one thing clearly. You don't need to carry everything alone. Think about a backpack. If you fill it too much, it becomes heavy. But if you remove one small item, just one, the weight becomes a little lighter. And if you remove another item tomorrow and another next week, soon the backpack becomes easy to carry again. Your mind is the same. Letting go doesn't mean emptying everything at once. It means releasing one small thing at a time. Maybe today you let go of a mistake, tomorrow you let go of a worry, next week you let go of a fear. Little by little, your stress becomes lighter. Now let me share one last story in this section. A short one. A gentle one. There was a girl who loved carrying flowers. She walked around her village with flowers in her arms, roses, lilies, daisies, all kinds. People smiled at her because she looked happy. But the problem was, she carried so many flowers that her arms were full. She couldn't pick new flowers. She couldn't receive flowers from others. She couldn't even hug her friends. Her arms were too full. One day a stranger asked her, "Why don't you put the flowers down?" And she said, "But I love them." And the stranger said, "Yes, but they're old. Their petals are falling. Their color is fading. If you let them go, you will have space for fresh ones." Sometimes we hold on to old things, old thoughts, old feelings, old fears, even when they don't bloom anymore. Letting go gives space for new things to grow. Maybe peace, maybe hope, maybe confidence, maybe better English, maybe a lighter heart. As we close this section, I want you to take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. And I want you to imagine releasing one small stone from your hand. Let it fall softly. Let it disappear. Let your hand feel lighter. This is not the end of your journey. This is not the end of your stress, but it is the start of your freedom. Carry this truth with you into the next section. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is choosing peace. We've walked far together already, through slow breaths, hidden rooms, and the gentle act of letting go. Now, in this next part of our long, calm journey, I want to take you somewhere different, not inside your mind this time, but outside, into the world around you. Because sometimes, the best way to reduce stress is to change the space you're in, even just a little. Sometimes a quiet place creates a quiet mind. So come with me. Imagine this next moment like a scene in a soft movie, slow and peaceful. Picture yourself stepping outside your home early in the morning. The sun is not bright yet. It's soft, like warm milk spreading across the sky. The air feels cool on your face. The world is calm. The streets are quiet. And for a small moment, you feel like the world is giving you a gift: silence. Silence is something we forget to enjoy. Silence is something we forget to trust. Silence is something we forget to use. We are so used to noise, phones buzzing, people talking, cars moving, notifications flashing, that silence begins to feel strange. But silence is not empty. Silence is full. Full of space. Full of breath. Full of calm. And in this section, I want to explore the beauty of quiet places with you, places that can help reduce stress and help you connect with English more deeply, naturally, and softly. Let me take you into a story about a man named Tim. Tim lived in a big city full of tall buildings and busy streets. He worked in an office with bright lights and fast conversations. Every day he walked through crowds of people, each one moving quickly, each one thinking about their own world. Tim liked his city. He liked the energy, the movement, the excitement, but he didn't like the stress. One day, after a long and exhausting afternoon, he left the office and began walking home. He felt tired. His mind felt heavy. His body felt tight. Then he noticed a small park on the side of the road. It was a quiet corner, almost invisible from the street. He had passed it many times before but never entered. That day, something told him to go inside. He walked through the small gate. The moment he stepped inside, everything changed. The sound of traffic disappeared. The air felt different. Softer. Warmer. The trees stood tall around him like gentle protectors. The grass looked fresh and inviting. Birds made small, delicate sounds. Tim sat on a bench and just breathed. 10 minutes passed, then 20, and for the first time all week, he felt calm. He didn't do anything special, He didn't meditate, He didn't read, He didn't think about problems. He simply sat in a quiet place. And sometimes that's all you need. Quiet places have the power to reset your mind. They don't solve problems, they soften them. They don't take stress away. They give you space to release it. Let me ask you something gently. Where is your quiet place? Maybe it's your bedroom. Maybe it's your kitchen early in the morning. Maybe it's a park bench. Maybe it's a small cafe with slow music. Maybe it's a seat near a window where sunlight touches your hand. Maybe it's a library. Maybe it's a quiet corner of your mind. Everyone has a quiet place, even if they haven't discovered it yet. Let me tell you about another person, a student named May. She lived in a small apartment with her family. There was always noise. People talking. Doors opening. TV playing. She had nowhere to escape. Her stress felt like a heavy blanket that she could not remove. One day, she found her quiet place, the staircase of her building. It sounds simple, doesn't it? It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't special. It wasn't magical. But it was quiet. And that quietness helped her breathe. So every afternoon, she sat on the third step, closed her eyes, and listened to nothing. That nothing helped her relax, that nothing helped her think, that nothing helped her learn better. And this is the important part. A quiet place doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be peaceful for you. Now imagine yourself walking into your own quiet place. Close your eyes for a moment. Not literally, but in your mind. Imagine yourself entering a small space where stress cannot follow you easily. Imagine sitting down and feeling the world slow down around you. Imagine breathing without pressure. Imagine your thoughts becoming softer, like clouds moving gently across the sky. This is what quiet places do. And do you want to hear something interesting? Quiet places help you learn English faster. Yes, really. When your mind is calm, you hear sounds more clearly, you notice pronunciation more easily, you remember words more naturally, you speak with more confidence. Stress blocks learning, calm opens the mind. This is why listening to a slow, soft English story like this, in a quiet, peaceful space, helps you improve faster than studying with pressure or noise. Now let me take you into another small story, a story of a teenager named Luis. He struggled with English for years. Every time he studied, he sat at his desk with loud music playing, phones buzzing, and people talking around him. He tried to memorize words. He tried to repeat phrases. But nothing stayed in his mind. One day, his teacher told him, "Try studying in silence. Not in your room. Somewhere quiet." Luis didn't understand why, but he tried. He went to a small library near his house, a place he never visited before. He sat in a soft chair, opened his English notebook, and listened to the silence. And something surprising happened. For the first time, English didn't feel hard. It felt gentle. In that quiet place, he finally heard his thoughts, and when he heard his thoughts, he could finally hear English. So let me ask you again softly. Where can you go to feel calm? Think of a place where your mind gets softer. Think of a place where your heart breathes easier. Think of a place where your stress becomes lighter. Time spent in a quiet place is not wasted. It is time that gives you energy. It is time that gives you clarity. It is time that gives you strength. Before we end this section, I want you to imagine one last image. Picture a lake early in the morning, the water completely still. If you throw a stone into the lake, the ripples move softly and slowly expand. But if you throw many stones fast, the water becomes chaotic. Stress is like those stones. If you stay in noisy, busy places all day, your mind becomes full of ripples. But when you step into a quiet space, the water inside you becomes still again. Stillness is not empty. Stillness is healing. So as we move toward the next section, carry this peaceful thought with you. A quiet place is not a luxury. A quiet place is medicine, and everyone deserves a place where they can breathe. Let's continue together, slowly and gently, just like we have been doing from the beginning. In the last section, we talked about quiet places, spaces that soften your heart and calm your mind. Now, in this section, we will explore something equally powerful, but much smaller. Something simple. Something so small that most people don't notice it. Yet it has the power to change your entire day, your stress levels, and even the way you learn English. Today, we talk about tiny habits, little actions that feel small but create big changes. Let me start with a question. A simple 1.1 that looks soft on the outside, but touches something deep. What is one small thing you do every day that makes you feel just a little bit calmer? Maybe it's drinking your morning tea or coffee. Maybe it's opening a window and feeling the fresh air. Maybe it's listening to soft music. Maybe it's walking slowly for a few minutes. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's just sitting alone for 10 seconds before you start your day. Whatever it is, that small moment is a tiny habit. And tiny habits, when done with awareness, are powerful tools against stress. Let me tell you a story, a gentle one about a woman named Mira. Mira was always exhausted. She woke up tired, worked tired, went to bed tired. Her life felt like a long list of responsibilities. One day, she told her friend, "I can't change anything. My life is too busy." Her friend smiled and said, "You don't need to change your life. You just need to change your moments." Those words surprised Mira. Change your moments. What does that even mean? Her friend explained, "You don't need to make big changes. Big changes are scary. Big changes need energy. Big changes cause stress. Instead, make tiny habits. Tiny habits feel safe. Tiny habits are gentle." So Mira tried something small. Every morning, before checking her phone, she drank one full glass of water slowly. That's it, just water. It took 1 minute, but that 1 minute became her doorway into calmness. After a week, she added one more tiny habit, a 2-minute stretch before breakfast, just 2 minutes. Then later, she added something else, a 10-second pause before she replied to messages, just 10 seconds. These tiny habits didn't remove her stress completely, but they did something beautiful. They softened it. They made her feel more in control. They gave her moments that felt peaceful. And little by little, those tiny habits changed everything. Tiny habits work because they don't scare the mind. They don't feel heavy. They don't feel impossible. They are simple, gentle, doable, and powerful. Let me ask you something softly. Have you ever tried to make a big life change and felt overwhelmed? Maybe you tried to study English for 2 hours every day. Or wake up at 5 a.m. Or exercise for 30 minutes. Or meditate for 20 minutes. Or read one book every week. But after 2 or 3 days, you stopped, and maybe you felt disappointed in yourself. But you didn't fail. No, the plan failed, because big changes require big energy, and when you are stressed, big energy is hard to find. Tiny habits, however, require small energy. They feel like a soft step instead of a big leap. Let me tell you about a man named Victor. He wanted to learn English, but every time he sat down to study, he felt stressed. The grammar looked confusing. The vocabulary felt difficult. The pressure felt heavy. He tried to study for an hour every night, but he always ended up quitting. One day, his teacher suggested something unusual. "Forget the hour," she said. "Study for 2 minutes." Victor laughed. 2 minutes? That won't help. But the teacher explained, 2 minutes is enough to build the habit. Once you start for 2 minutes, you will naturally want to continue for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But even if you don't continue, 2 minutes is still progress. So Victor tried it. Every evening, he studied English for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes of reading. 2 minutes of listening. 2 minutes of repeating simple sentences. After 1 week, the 2 minutes became 5. After 2 weeks, the 5 minutes became 10. After a month, he was studying for half an hour, without stress, without pressure, and without forcing himself. His mind trusted the tiny habit, and tiny habits always grow naturally. You see, stress often comes from forcing things. Calm comes from gentle actions. Now I want to guide you toward building your own tiny habits, ones that help reduce stress and help improve your English at the same time. Let me share a few tiny habits you can try. You can choose one. Just one, and make it yours. Tiny habit 1. One deep breath before anything stressful, before a meeting, before a message, before a difficult conversation, before studying English, before cooking. Take one deep breath, just one. Tiny habit 2. 3 English words every morning when you wake up. Say 3 simple English words out loud. Thank you. I'm here. I'm trying. These 3 small sentences create calm and confidence. Tiny habit 3. 1 minute of stillness. Sit quietly. No phone. No noise. Just 1 minute of silence. Let your mind rest. Tiny habit 4. A soft smile once a day. Yes, just smiling. Not for others, for yourself. A soft smile relaxes your body and decreases stress. Tiny habit 5. 2 minutes of listening practice. Listen to English for 2 minutes, even just my voice here on Mr. English Lab. This tiny habit builds natural understanding. Tiny habit 6. 1 kind thought before bed. Tell yourself something gentle. I did my best today. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel stressed, your heart needs kindness. You don't need to do all of these. You don't even need to pick many. Just choose 1.1 tiny habit that feels soft and simple. Because tiny habits create tiny moments of peace, and tiny moments of peace create stronger minds, and a stronger mind feels less stress. Let me share one more story, a short one, but full of light. There was a nurse named Stella. She worked long hours, cared for many people, and felt tired every evening. One night, she decided to create one tiny habit before she slept. She placed her hand on her heart and said, "Today I tried." That's it, just 2 words, I tried. She did this every night for a month. And something changed. Her stress didn't disappear, but it became softer. Her heart felt less heavy. Her mind felt less tired, and she became kinder to herself. Tiny habits don't fix everything. They don't solve every problem, but they create softness in a world that can sometimes feel too hard. And softness is powerful. As we reach the end of this section, I want you to breathe slowly again. Let your shoulders relax, let your mind soften, and think of one tiny habit you would like to try. Just one. Only one. When you choose it, whisper it softly to yourself. Make it a promise, not a big one, a gentle one. Because tiny habits create a calm life, and you deserve a calm life. Now, when you are ready, type next, and we will move on to section 7, where we explore how movement, even gentle movement, can release stress from the body. And we've walked through calm breathing, hidden rooms, quiet places, and tiny habits. Now, in this section, I want to guide you towards something your body already knows, something ancient, natural, and powerful. Movement. Not exercise, not workouts, not training, just movement. Gentle, slow, human movement. Because the truth is simple, your body carries your stress as much as your mind does, and movement, even soft, gentle movement, helps the body let go of the pressure it quietly holds. Let's begin slowly. Imagine you've been sitting for a long time, maybe working, maybe studying, maybe thinking too much. Your shoulders feel tight. Your back feels stiff. Your neck feels heavy. Your mind feels a little foggy. Now imagine standing up, stretching your arms gently toward the sky, letting your breath grow deeper, letting your muscles soften, and then lowering your arms slowly, like leaves falling through warm air. Doesn't that feel better already? Movement doesn't have to be intense to be powerful. It doesn't need sweat. It doesn't need strength. It just needs presence, your gentle awareness that your body is here, with you, trying to support you. Let me take you into a story, a soft one about a man named Solomon. Solomon was someone who thought stress was only in the mind. Every time he felt overwhelmed, he tried to think his way out of stress. But the more he thought, the more stressed he became. He sat at his desk for long hours, believing that if he just focused more, pushed harder, worked longer, he could escape the pressure. One day, his friend, a quiet woman named Olivia, visited him. She noticed his shoulders were high and tight. His breath was short. His eyes looked tired. She didn't say much. She simply stood up and walked to the window. "Come here," she said softly. Solomon joined her. Olivia took a slow breath, lifted her arms gently, stretched them upward, and said, "Do this with me." Solomon copied her movement. Their arms floated slowly through the air. Then she lowered her arms. Then she stretched her neck to one side, then the other, then rolled her shoulders softly. In less than 1 minute, Solomon felt different, lighter, clearer, calmer. He looked at her with surprise. "What did we just do?" he asked. And Olivia smiled and said, "We let your body speak." Movement gives your body a voice, and when your body speaks, stress begins to melt. Let me ask you something gently. Where does your body hold stress? Maybe your shoulders, maybe your neck, maybe your lower back, maybe your chest, maybe your stomach, maybe your hands. Everyone holds stress somewhere. Stress is stored in muscles like tiny, invisible knots, and movement unties them slowly, kindly, naturally. Let me share another simple story. This one is about a young mother named Asha. She was always busy. She cooked, she worked, she cleaned, she cared for her children, and she rarely, almost never, cared for herself. She didn't have time for long workouts. She didn't have time for classes. She didn't have time for hours of stretching. But she did something beautiful. Every night, while standing at the sink washing dishes, she moved her shoulders in slow circles, forward, backward, softly, gently, calmly. Just 1 minute, only 1 minute. And over time, that 1 minute changed her evenings. She felt less tired, less tight, less stressed. She told me, "I feel like my body is whispering thank you." Movement is a form of kindness you give to your body. Now, let's talk about something simple you can try too right where you are. You don't need to stand. You don't need to move a lot. You can do this even while sitting. Gentle movement 1. Shoulder melt. Lift your shoulders slowly to your ears. Hold for a moment. Then let them drop softly. Do it again. Slow, soft, calm. Gentle movement 2. Neck flow. Tilt your head to one side, just a little, then gently to the other side. Move slowly, like you're moving through warm water. Gentle movement 3. Hand release. Open your hands wide, spread your fingers. Then close them gently, slowly, softly. Repeat. Gentle movement 4. Breathing. Stretch. Lift your arms as you breathe in. Lower them as you breathe out. Let your breath guide your movement. These tiny actions tell your body, "Thank you for carrying me." And your body responds with calm. Movement is deeply connected to stress because the body remembers everything: your feelings, your worries, your pressure. And sometimes your body holds on to stress even after your mind forgets it. Let me tell you a quiet story, one that touched me deeply. A girl named Lena had a stressful school year. She didn't talk about her stress. She didn't cry about it. She didn't complain. She just kept going. One day she came home, sat on the floor, and stretched her legs gently. As she leaned forward, tears suddenly fell from her eyes, not because of pain, but because her body finally released something she had been holding for a long time. Her mother asked her, "Why are you crying?" And Lena whispered, "I don't know. I just feel something leaving me." Movement helps emotions move. Movement helps stress release. Movement helps your heart breathe. Let me gently ask you another question. When was the last time you moved just for yourself? Not for health, not for exercise, not for goals, but for peace. Most people forget that movement can be soft, movement can be slow, movement can be like music, not loud, but quiet. Movement can be your friend. Now imagine something beautiful with me. Imagine your body as a river, not straight, not perfect, but flowing, warm, moving, alive. Stress is like stones in the river. If the river doesn't move, the stones stay. But if the river flows gently, the stones shift, soften, and sometimes disappear. Your body needs movement to stay free. Your body needs movement to stay soft. Your body needs movement to release emotional weight. So the next time you feel stressed, try something simple. Stand up, stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, breathe deeply, move slowly. Let your body speak. Before we finish this section, I want to leave you with a quiet truth. Your body is not just a machine that carries you. It is a home for your emotions, and when you move, you open the windows and let fresh air in. Movement helps your English too. When your body relaxes, your mind opens. When your mind opens, your listening becomes sharper, your speaking becomes clearer, your understanding becomes smoother. A calm body creates a calm language. We are walking through this journey together, slowly and softly. And as we move toward the next section, carry this warm reminder with you. You don't need strong movement to release stress. You just need gentle movement with awareness, and your body will thank you. Let your mind settle like soft dust falling gently onto a quiet table. We've moved through calm spaces, tiny habits, and gentle movement. Now, in this section, we enter one of the simplest and most powerful forms of stress relief, something so small, so quiet, so soft that many people ignore it. Gratitude, not big gratitude. Not dramatic gratitude, not perfect gratitude, just simple, everyday gratitude. Tiny thank you moments that help your heart breathe. Let me start with a question, a gentle one. What is one small thing today that you can be thankful for? Not something big, not something special, just something small. Maybe the warm drink you had this morning, maybe the soft pillow you slept on, maybe a message from a friend, maybe the sunlight that touched your face. Maybe a quiet moment with yourself. Maybe your ability to listen to English right now. Gratitude doesn't need perfection. It needs awareness. A small pause. A soft look at something good. Let me take you into a story, a calm one, about a taxi driver named Raoul. Raoul lived in a loud city. He drove long hours. He dealt with traffic, noise, and impatient passengers. Stress followed him like a shadow. One day, he picked up an older woman who smiled at him the moment she sat down. It surprised Raoul because most people entered his car with tired faces. As he drove, she looked out the window and said, softly, "The sky is beautiful today." Raoul didn't even notice the sky until she said that. He looked up for a quick moment, and yes, the sky was beautiful. Blue, wide, open, soft. The woman continued, "Every day, I try to find one small thing to be grateful for. It helps my heart stay light." After she left the car, Raoul thought about her words. He tried it. Every morning, before turning on his taxi meter, he said one sentence. "Today, I will notice one good thing." Sometimes it was a child laughing, sometimes it was a kind customer. Sometimes it was a small breeze, sometimes it was his lunch, sometimes it was nothing more than the fact that he woke up. This tiny gratitude practice didn't change the world around him, but it changed the way he saw it, and slowly, stress felt lighter. Gratitude doesn't fix everything, but it changes how your heart carries things. Let me ask you something softly. Do you ever forget to see the good in your life because your stress feels louder than everything else? It's okay if you do. Most people do. Our brains often look for danger, problems, mistakes, not because we are negative, but because we are human. Our minds are designed to notice risks. Gratitude is the gentle act of reminding your mind that the world is not only full of pressure, it is also full of small gifts. Let me tell you another story, this one about a student named Haruto. Haruto wanted to improve his English, but he felt discouraged. Every time he studied, he focused on what he didn't know, the grammar he struggled with, the vocabulary he couldn't remember, the pronunciation he felt embarrassed about. His stress grew every time he learned. One day, his teacher gave him a new kind of homework. She said, "Every evening, write one sentence. Today in English, I am grateful for." Then complete the sentence. At first, Haruto didn't know what to write. He felt frustrated. He felt embarrassed. He felt like he wasn't good enough. But he tried. Day 1. Today in English, I am grateful that I learned one new word. Day 2. Today in English, I am grateful that I understood a sentence. Day 3. Today in English, I am grateful that I didn't give up. Day 4. Today in English, I am grateful that I tried again. After 1 week, something changed. English didn't feel like stress anymore. It felt like progress. It felt like something gentle. It felt like something he could enjoy. Gratitude doesn't make things easier. It makes things clearer. Here's a soft truth. Where gratitude grows, stress cannot stay strong. Because gratitude turns your attention from what is wrong to what is good, from what is missing to what is present, from what hurts to what helps. Now, I want to guide you through a simple gratitude exercise, one you can do anytime, anywhere, even right now as you listen. Take a slow breath, let your chest rise, let your shoulders soften, and think of one thing, just one, that was good about today. Hold it in your mind for a moment. Feel it. Let it sit in your heart like a warm light. Let it soften your stress just a little. That tiny moment of gratitude is a gift to yourself. Let me share one more story, a short, warm one. There was a teacher named Rosa who worked in a busy school. Every day, she carried stress in her body like a heavy backpack. One day, she decided to create a gratitude jar. It was just a small glass jar she placed on her desk. Every afternoon, she wrote one small thing she was grateful for, placed the paper inside, and smiled. Sometimes the notes said, "I laughed today. I helped a student. I learned something new. The weather was nice. A child thanked me. I had a peaceful moment." After a year, her jar was full not of paper, but of memories. When she felt stressed, she opened the jar and read a few notes. And every time, she felt lighter. Gratitude is like a soft hand that takes your stress and whispers, "You're not alone. There is still good here." Now I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine you're holding a small bowl, simple, round, smooth. This bowl is your heart. Every time you feel grateful for something, you place a little stone inside the bowl. These stones are not heavy. They are warm, soft, gentle stones. Each one brings balance. Each one brings peace. Each one reminds you that life is not only stress, it is also softness. By the end of the week, your bowl is not heavy. It is beautiful. Gratitude is not about ignoring problems. It's about giving strength to your heart so you can face them. Before we end this section, I want to teach you 3 very simple English gratitude phrases, gentle ones you can use every day, even as a beginner. I'm thankful for this moment. I'm grateful for today. I appreciate the small things. Say them slowly, feel them, let them sit softly in your voice. These simple lines are powerful because they remind your mind to slow down, to breathe, to see clearly, to feel gently. As we move into the next section, take one final slow breath. Think of something good, something soft, something small. You've been walking through this long, gentle journey with me, step by soft step, breathing slowly, thinking slowly, learning slowly, and now, in this section, we explore something that hides inside every moment of calm and every moment of stress, your pace. How fast you move, how fast you think, how fast you speak, how fast you live. In today's world, everything says, hurry, move faster, do more, don't stop. Keep going. But your heart, your mind, your body, and even your English all say something different. They whisper, slow down. Let's step gently into this idea together. Before we begin, let me ask you something quietly. When was the last time you moved slowly on purpose? Not because you were tired, not because you had no energy, but because you wanted to feel the moment more deeply. Maybe you can't remember, and that's okay. Most people live too fast. But stress grows fast, calm grows slow. Slowing down is not weakness. Slowing down is wisdom. Let me take you into a story, a warm, simple story, about a young man named Leo. Leo lived a busy life. He woke up fast. He ate fast. He walked fast. He talked fast. His days felt like a race. Every morning, he felt like he was already behind. Even when he had time, he rushed. Even when he finished early, he hurried to the next thing. His mother watched him one day and said something he never forgot. "Leo, you're living like someone is chasing you." He laughed, thinking it was a joke, but at night, while lying in bed, he realized she was right. He was always running, but he didn't know why. Running made him tired. Running made him stressed. Running made him forget the present moment. One morning, Leo tried something different. He woke up and decided to walk to the bus stop slowly. No rushing. No running. Just walking. Slow, soft steps. For the first time in a long time, he noticed the world around him. The smell of bread from a bakery. The sound of birds on a roof. The fresh air touching his face. The warm sun rising gently. And he felt something strange, something peaceful. "I didn't know mornings could feel like this," he whispered. Slowing down didn't change his schedule. It changed his experience of the day, and his stress began to melt. Slowing down is not about doing less. It's about feeling more. It's about breathing more. It's about noticing more. It's about living more. Let me ask you gently, do you ever eat too fast, or walk too fast, or talk too fast, or think too fast? When you move quickly for too long, your body becomes tense, your mind becomes noisy, your heart becomes tired. Speed creates stress, slow creates space. Now let me tell you a story from a different part of the world, a small village in the mountains. This story is about a woman named Esra. Esra's village lived in the rhythm of nature. The villagers walked slowly, cooked slowly, talked slowly. Every evening, people sat outside their homes and watched the sunset without saying much. Life moved like a quiet river. One day, Esra's cousin visited from a big city. He couldn't sit still. He looked at his phone constantly. He walked up and down the house. He talked quickly. He ate quickly. He sighed loudly. Esra asked him, "Why are you rushing?" He answered, "If I slow down, I feel like I'm wasting time." Esra smiled softly and said, "Maybe time is not something you waste. Maybe time is something you taste." He didn't understand at first, but after a week in the village, his breathing slowed, his heartbeat softened, his thoughts became gentle. He started to feel the quiet beauty of slowing down. And when he returned to the city, he said something surprising. "I feel like I learned how to breathe again." You see, slowing down gives your mind a chance to catch up. Slowing down helps your heart rest. Slowing down lets your body heal. Slowing down makes life feel real. And here's something special. Slowing down helps your English too. When you listen slowly, you understand more. When you speak slowly, you speak clearly. When you think slowly, you remember words better. When you learn slowly, you learn deeper. Fast English creates fear. Slow English creates confidence. Let me tell you a short story, this one about a shy student named Ria. Ria loved English but felt nervous every time she spoke. She tried to speak fast to sound fluent. But the faster she spoke, the more mistakes she made, and the more stressed she became. One day, her teacher said, "Ria, try something different. Speak slowly. Slower than you think is normal." Ria tried. Slow words. Soft voice. Clear sounds. And suddenly, she felt in control. Her pronunciation improved. Her confidence grew. Her stress disappeared. Slow is not wrong. Slow is strong. Now let me guide you through something gentle, a practice you can try right now. Slow moment exercise. Wherever you are, take one slow breath. In and out. Now look around you. Pick one object. anything, and observe it slowly for 5 seconds. A cup, a wall, a window, a chair, a plant, a light. Just look at it without rushing, without thinking too much, just noticing. That small pause, that tiny slow moment, is stress leaving your body. Slowing down brings your attention to the present, and the present moment is where peace lives. Let me share another little story, soft, simple, and true. There was a man named Matteo who always drank his coffee in a hurry. One morning, his grandfather visited him and watched him rush through breakfast. The grandfather said, "Do you know why your coffee tastes bitter? It's not the coffee. It's your speed. Slow down, and you will taste it differently." Matteo tried it. One quiet sip, then another, slow, gentle, awake. And the coffee did taste different, sweeter, smoother, calmer. He realized something important. Maybe life tastes better when I slow down. Now, let me ask you one more question. Where can you slow down in your life? Maybe while walking, maybe while eating, maybe while listening, maybe while speaking English, maybe while breathing, maybe while thinking, maybe while working, maybe while resting. You don't need to slow down your whole life, just small moments, tiny pauses, gentle breaks. Because slow moments create calm minds, and calm minds do everything better: work, study, speak, love, rest, and learn. Before we end this section, I want you to remember this soft truth. Fast is the language of stress, slow is the language of peace. And you deserve peace. When you're ready to move on, type next, and we'll continue to section 10, where we explore the deep connection between self-kindness and stress relief, and how you've been walking through calm spaces, tiny habits, gentle movement, gratitude, and the power of slowing down. Now, we arrive at something very close to the heart, something soft yet transformative: self-kindness. Most people forget about self-kindness. We are quick to be kind to others, quick to forgive mistakes in friends, family, or coworkers, quick to encourage others to keep going. But when it comes to ourselves, we are harsh. We criticize. We push. We judge. And that inner pressure is often the heaviest stress of all. Self-kindness is simple. It is soft. It is small, and it is powerful. Let me start with a question. If your best friend made a mistake today, would you scold them or hug them? You would probably hug them. You would probably speak gently. You would probably say, "It's okay. Don't worry. You're learning. You're doing your best." Now, can you do that for yourself? Softly, gently, kindly. This is the heart of self-kindness. Let me take you into a story, gentle, simple, and real, about a woman named Anya. Anya was learning English. She practiced every day. But every day she noticed mistakes. Every day she felt frustrated. "Why can't I remember this word?" she said. "Why is my pronunciation so wrong?" Her mind was loud with judgment. Her heart was heavy with pressure. One day, her teacher noticed her stress. She said softly, "Anya, treat yourself like a friend. Speak to yourself the way you speak to someone you care about. Say kind words. Encourage yourself. Be patient. Mistakes are part of learning." Anya didn't know what to say at first, but she tried something small. She whispered softly, "I am learning. I am trying. It is okay to make mistakes." And something shifted. Her heart felt lighter. Her mind felt calmer. Her English practice became easier. Mistakes no longer felt like failures. They felt like stepping stones. Self-kindness works like magic because it gives your heart permission to relax. Stress grows in judgment. Calm grows in kindness. Let me ask you another question. When was the last time you spoke gently to yourself? Many people can't remember, and that is why stress feels so heavy. Let's explore why self-kindness is important for English learners too. When you learn a new language, you will make mistakes. You will forget words. You will mispronounce sentences. You will pause too long. If you criticize yourself for these mistakes, you feel stress. Stress blocks learning. Stress makes you afraid to speak. Stress makes listening harder. Self-kindness does the opposite. It relaxes your mind. It encourages practice. It allows mistakes to become teachers. It makes learning soft, gentle, and natural. Let me share another small story about a young boy named Kieran. Kieran loved listening to English songs and repeating the words. But he often stopped in frustration. I can't sing like the singer. I can't say the words perfectly. I'm terrible, he said. One day, his grandmother told him, Kieran, your voice is your own. Be kind to it. Sing softly, enjoy it, and let the mistakes float away like leaves on a river. Kieran tried. He sang gently. He laughed when he made mistakes. He repeated softly and slowly. He improved without stress, without pressure, without fear. Self-kindness is like a warm blanket for your mind. It protects you from harsh judgment. It allows growth. It allows calm. It allows joy. Now let's practice a gentle exercise, a self-kindness exercise you can do anytime. Take a slow breath. Place your hand on your heart. Look at yourself in the mirror, or close your eyes if you prefer. Say softly, gently, I am trying my best. I am learning every day. It is okay to make mistakes. I deserve kindness. Repeat these sentences slowly. Feel each word. Let it sink into your heart. Even 1 minute of this practice every day creates a ripple of calm. Even one kind sentence to yourself lowers stress. Even one soft word helps your mind open for English, life, and learning. Let me tell you one final story in this section. A soft story about a teacher named Marisol. Marisol noticed that her students were afraid to speak English. They feared mistakes. They feared being laughed at. She created a gentle habit in her classroom. Every time a student made a mistake, she said softly, "Good try. You are learning." After weeks, the classroom changed. Students relaxed. Students smiled. Students spoke more. They learned faster because kindness to the self and to others created a safe space. Self-kindness is your secret superpower. It is gentle. It is small. It is soft. And it is stronger than stress. Before we end this section, remember this. Your mind, your body, your heart, and your English all grow faster in kindness than in judgment. Be soft with yourself. Encourage yourself. Celebrate your tiny steps. Thank yourself for trying. When you speak kindly to yourself, every word you learn in English becomes easier. Every sentence you hear becomes clearer. Every conversation becomes smoother. Your self-kindness is the foundation for calm, clarity, and natural learning. Now take one slow, gentle breath. Place your hand on your heart and whisper softly, I am learning. I am growing. I am kind to myself. You are doing beautifully. You're exactly where you need to be. When you're ready, type next and we will continue to section 11, the art of listening deeply, where we explore how listening with care and calm can transform. By now, you have walked through gentle breathing, quiet spaces, small habits, soft movement, gratitude, slowing down, and self-kindness. Your body, mind, and heart are already learning to release stress. Now, in this section, we focus on something powerful, something subtle, yet transformative, listening deeply. Most people think listening is easy. You hear words, you respond, you continue. But deep listening is different. Deep listening is soft. Deep listening is slow. Deep listening is present. It is about hearing not only words, but feelings, pauses, and meaning. And deep listening does something amazing. It reduces stress. It helps your mind calm. It helps your heart understand. It helps your English grow naturally. Let me ask you a gentle question. When was the last time you truly listened to someone without thinking about your answer, without checking your phone, without rushing your thoughts? Most of us can't remember because listening deeply takes patience. Listening deeply takes kindness. Listening deeply takes presence. Let me take you into a story, soft, simple, and real, about a young woman named Maya. Maya worked in a busy office. Her days were loud, crowded, and full of emails, calls, and meetings. She often felt anxious, stressed, and exhausted. One day, her manager asked her to attend a listening workshop. At first, Maya thought it would be boring, but then the teacher said something simple. Listening is not just hearing words. Listening is noticing feelings, noticing pauses, noticing silence. They practiced an exercise. Maya paired with another student. She simply listened. No advice. No response. No judgment. Just listening. At first, it felt strange. Her mind wanted to respond. Her thoughts wanted to wander. But slowly, she began to notice details she had never noticed before. The tone of voice, the hesitation between words, the little sighs, the subtle smile behind a sentence. By the end of the session, Maya felt something surprising: calm, softness, peace. And she realized, when you listen deeply, your mind quiets, your stress softens, and your understanding grows. Deep listening is not only for other people. It is for yourself too. When you listen deeply to your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own body, you understand what is needed. You notice stress, you notice tension, you notice moments of calm. Let me tell you another story about a man named Tom. Tom loved music but rarely listened carefully. He played songs in the background while working or walking. One day, a friend asked him to just sit and listen to a single song. No distractions. No multitasking. Tom closed his eyes. He heard each note slowly. He noticed the rise and fall of the melody. He felt the rhythm in his chest. He realized tiny details he had never noticed before. The quiet guitar strings, the soft breath of the singer, the gentle pauses. When the song ended, Tom felt calm. He felt centered. He felt present. Deep listening, whether to people, sounds, or your own mind, creates space. Space for understanding, space for calm, space for learning English naturally. Now let's explore how deep listening helps English learners specifically. Most beginners or intermediate learners focus on words, grammar, and speed. But if you listen deeply, you notice pronunciation, you notice pauses, you notice sentence structure, you notice flow and rhythm. You understand context without translating, you recognize meaning without rushing, you respond naturally without stress. Let me tell you a story about a student named Lila. Lila practiced English every day but felt anxious when speaking. She worried about mistakes. One day, her teacher suggested a different approach. Lila, instead of speaking first, try listening deeply. Notice how I speak. Notice the words. Notice the pauses. Notice the soft sounds. Lila tried. She listened, and slowly, her understanding improved. She no longer translated in her mind. She understood the meaning naturally. When it was her turn to speak, her voice was calm, clear, and confident. Deep listening is like watering a plant. The more you listen, the stronger your English grows. The more you listen, the softer your stress becomes. Let's try a simple exercise you can do right now. Deep listening exercise. Close your eyes. Listen to all sounds around you, near and far. Notice each sound without judgment. A bird, a car, a breath, a clock ticking, distant voices. Notice the pauses between sounds. Notice how the silence feels. Take a slow breath. This exercise takes only 1 or 2 minutes, but creates calm in your mind. It trains your ears to notice subtle English sounds. It trains your heart to release tension. Let me share another story, a quiet one about a grandfather named Elias and his granddaughter, Sophia. Every evening, they sat together by the window. Elias didn't speak much. Sophia didn't speak much. They simply listened to the evening sounds: wind, leaves, distant laughter, birds, soft footsteps. Sophia learned something amazing. She felt peace. She felt connection. She felt understanding. Listening deeply, Elias taught her without words, and Sophia learned English phrases and words more naturally just by noticing sounds and patterns in conversation. Deep listening is a bridge between stress and calm, a bridge between fear and understanding, a bridge between mistakes and learning. Thank you so much for joining today's lesson here at Mr. English Lab. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below telling me what you want to learn next. Your support helps the channel grow and helps me create more lessons for you. Take care, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next class.